Imagine the government of your country passing a law tomorrow, telling you that you have 15 minutes to leave your home. Not 15 days, not 15 hours, 15 minutes. Take what you can carry, leave everything else. Then soldiers march you 800 miles in the middle of winter. No adequate clothing, no medicine, barefoot in snow. And between 14 and 19% of every man, woman, and child on that march dies before they reach the destination. COVID-19, the pandemic that shut down the entire world, killed less than 0.3% of the American population. The Trail of Tears killed between 14 and 19% of every Native American forced to walk it. In one march, in one winter, ordered by one president, whose face is still on the American $20 bill today. Andrew Jackson signed the Indian Removal Act in 1830, not because the Cherokee were a threat, not because they were primitive, not because they were uncivilized. The Cherokee had a written language. They had a constitutional government. They had a newspaper, the Cherokee Phoenix, printed in their own syllabary. They had farms, orchards, schools, and churches. They had built everything America said it valued. And in 1828, gold was discovered on their land in Georgia. That was the only reason that mattered. The gold, the land, the removal, and the President of the United States, the same man whose face is on the American $20 bill today, gave the order that killed thousands of people. In the summer of 1838, United States Army soldiers arrived at Cherokee homes in Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and North Carolina. They did not knock. They kicked in doors. Families were given minutes to gather what they could carry. Then they were marched at gunpoint to stockades. Wooden enclosures in the summer heat. No adequate shelter. No clean water. Disease moved through those stockades like fire. Dysentery, measles, whooping cough. People were dying before the march even began. One American soldier who witnessed it, a man named John Burnett, wrote years later that he saw the helpless Cherokees arrested and dragged from their homes and driven at the bayonet point into the stockades. He wrote that children cried and mothers wept. He wrote that he had to choke his sobs when he saw the faces of people who had done nothing wrong. He wrote it in his personal diary because it was the kind of truth that official military reports were never going to contain. In autumn 1838, the march began. Over 16,000 Cherokee people forced west, toward Indian Territory in what is now Oklahoma. Over 800 miles, on foot, in inadequate clothing, through a Tennessee winter. The temperature dropped below freezing. People marched in thin summer clothing. Some marched barefoot in the snow. Children were carried until the people carrying them could no longer walk. The elderly fell and did not get up. At river crossings, the ice at the banks, the current in the middle, people were lost to the water. There was not enough food, not enough medicine, not enough blankets, not enough of anything except soldiers making sure nobody turned back. Between 4,000 and 8,000 Cherokee people died on that march. A quarter of the entire nation. Dead. On the road. In the winter. On American soil. The Cherokee called it Nunadalt Suni, the trail where they cried. We know it as the Trail of Tears. And the Cherokee were not alone. The Choctaw were removed first in 1831, marching through Mississippi floodwaters in winter. The Creek were removed in 1836. Their leaders marched in chains. In iron chains. Leaders of a sovereign nation marched in chains across their own land. The Chickasaw followed. The Seminole fought back. 3 wars over 7 years, refusing to leave Florida. 5 nations. Thousands of miles of forced march. Tens of thousands of deaths. And Andrew Jackson watched from Washington. And history put his face on the $20 bill. The land the 5 nations were moved to was called Indian Territory. They were told it would be theirs forever. An American government promise. Forever. 50 years later, in April 1889, the United States government organized the Oklahoma Land Rush. A starting gun. Thousands of white settlers on horses and in wagons racing to claim land in Indian Territory. The land that had been promised forever. Gone in a day. The Dawes Act then subdivided what remained of communal Native American land into individual allotments, a process specifically designed to transfer millions of acres to white ownership through legal mechanisms rather than military force. They had already used military force. Now they used paperwork. The result was the same. The land was taken. The promise was broken. The people were left with what nobody else wanted. There was no trial for what happened on the Trail of Tears. No commission. No criminal investigation. Andrew Jackson died in 1845. He is buried at his Tennessee plantation, the Hermitage. It is a tourist attraction today. You can visit the grave of the man who ordered the death march of thousands of people and buy a souvenir in the gift shop. The Supreme Court ruling he ignored, Worcester versus Georgia, has never been used to provide restitution to the descendants of those who were removed. The Treaty of New Echota, signed by 20 unauthorized Cherokee men without the consent of the 15,000 Cherokee who opposed it, has never been declared legally void. The U.S. government has designated the Trail of Tears a National Historic Trail, a trail marker, for a death march. That is what accountability looks like when the powerful write the history. We teach history on this page that your school never taught you. Not the version where America was always right. Not the version where the removal was a necessary inconvenience of civilization. The version with the names of the people who gave the orders. Andrew Jackson, Secretary of War John Eaton, who oversaw the removal policy. General Winfield Scott, who commanded the military operation that forced 16,000 Cherokee people from their homes. We name them because the history books gave them statues, and the people they killed got trail markers. Now tell me something. Drop the word tears in the comments right now. Just that one word. Tears. Let the world scroll through this comment section and see thousands of people leaving that word for the Cherokee, the Choctaw, the Creek, the Chickasaw, and the Seminole. Let the algorithm see it too, because every comment pushes this video in front of more people who were never taught this history. Drop tears below, and then tell me, where in the world are you watching from? Have you ever heard this story before? Did your school teach you about the Trail of Tears, or did they skip it? Do you know someone this kind of forced removal happened to? Because every continent has its own Trail of Tears. A people removed from their land by a government that wanted what was beneath their feet. And most of those stories are still buried. We are digging them up, country by country, continent by continent, and we are bringing them to you before anyone else does. Share this video right now, not tomorrow. Now, someone in your life learned that Andrew Jackson was a war hero. Show them what kind of war he fought. Show them the stockades. Show them the winter march. Show them the children who walked barefoot in the snow. Show them whose face is still on the $20 bill. One share puts this in front of thousands of people whose history class never mentioned the trail where they cried. Follow the Odd Archive on Facebook right now. If you do not follow, Facebook will not show you our next video. And the next story we are dropping is one that will make you question everything you thought you knew about a country you trusted. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search official The Odd Archive. Follow us on TikTok and on X. Search official The Odd Archive on both. For clicks. And you will never be taught the sanitized version of history again. Drop tears below. Share this now. And tell us, where in the world are you watching from?